Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Wells Fargo, QualCare Inc., a local managed care company covering 750,000 New Jersey residents. Choose New Jersey. Our mission is attracting companies to the Garden State. New Jersey's Sharing Network, dedicated to saving lives through organ and tissue donation. Barnabas Health. Life is better healthy. Celgene Corporation, committed to improving the lives of patients worldwide. And by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Promotional support provided by NJBIZ, all business, all New Jersey.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Welcome to a very special edition of One-on-One. Recently, our executive producer and correspondent, Jacqui Cooke, covered the NJBIZ Best 50 Women in Business event, in which some of the state's most talented and successful women business leaders were recognized. Jacqui got up close and personal with these women who offered their perspective on what it takes to succeed in the highly competitive and challenging world of business.
Hi, I'm Jacqui Cooke, on location for One-on-One with Steve Adubato. I'm here at the annual Best 50 Women in Business event presented by NJBIZ. Tonight, we're honoring New Jersey's most dynamic women in business who are making headlines in their field. I had the opportunity to speak with some of the honorees of the evening, as well as some of the corporate sponsors who made the event possible. But first, let's hear from tonight's Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Ann Evans Estabrook.
We had a very strong father who had started the family business, Elbron Development Group, and he had a grade school education. He was the youngest of 10 children. It was important to him, and therefore became important to me, that I go to college, which I did, and went to Cornell University and studied industrial and labor relations. And I did that because we had a big construction company, which I had worked in summers from the time I was 16. I think probably an early obstacle in my career was the fact that I was a woman in a male-dominated industry. But I worked through that. I made some wonderful friends in our industry. I worked through our industry organizations such as NAIOP. That was an obstacle, but an obstacle is an opportunity. If a young woman starting out in her career were to ask me for advice, one of the things that I would say to her is be sure, get in there and work hard. And don't concentrate on what you consider the unfairness of life or the unfairness in your career or in your workplace. You need to stay positive, you need to show what you can do, and you need to get there. And you'll only get there by being positive.
Joining me now is Tom Curran, the publisher of NJBIZ, and NJBIZ is the sponsor of the event tonight, who's putting on this entire event. How long has NJBIZ been doing this?
We've held the Best 50 Women in Jersey event. I think this is our 9th year now, and each year it's got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, what have been some of the changes that you've seen throughout the years? Has it always been 50 women in business?
Always 50, as long as I've been with the paper, and I've been with it 6 years. But the change I see, the quality of the women and the talent that we've seen over the last 3 or 4 years, just amazing what these women have accomplished in New Jersey in their jobs and professional life. It's just fun reading all their bios. And you're talking about the bios, and I know that the selection process for this is a little unique. Can you tell us about that? Yeah, what we do is we obviously promote it in NJBIZ. We promote it with all the a number of women's organizations in the state, and we look for nominations, and that's kind of how we get all our winners tonight. And we've got hundreds and hundreds of nominations, and we select judges. We have judges that select out of all those nominations 50 of the top women. So they have a tough job, and they take a long time to do it. But it's a big process, and I would say this event we get the most amount of nominations just because it's such a popular event.
And who are some of the women that we're going to be seeing tonight on that podium receiving the award?
Well, Tracy McDaniel, she heads Choose New Jersey. She's a really big proponent of attracting business to the state, and she's really, really exciting to talk to and to meet. She's really a great personality. Deb DiLorenzo is another person. She heads Southern New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. Really nice person, does a great job with the chamber. It's, I think, the biggest chamber in the state. So there's a quality of people like that, just really big jobs, really, really talented and smart women.
And what does this event mean to you personally?
To me, it's just, I have 2 daughters, and seeing all these women and what they've accomplished and what they've done in their lives, not just being moms, which is very important, but also being moms and taking on big jobs and balancing both. It's just really nice to see.
Some really great role models out there.
And really nice role models, which is inspiring.
Well, you're the only man I'm talking to tonight, but
That's why it's my favorite event.
well, thank you so much, and thank you to NJBIZ for continually putting on this event.
Well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
I'm here with Brenda Ross-Doolan, who's the regional president of Southern New Jersey, Wells Fargo. Brenda, you're not being awarded tonight, but you've been awarded this award in the past. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Well, that was an amazing experience for me because I was relatively new to New Jersey when I received the award. And what I didn't know is that the panel of judges actually take a look at your accomplishments. They have no idea who they are evaluating. And after they look at your accomplishments, then they award you this amazing recognition. So it was a way to say, first of all, welcome to New Jersey. Second of all, not only were my business accomplishments being recognized, but what my personal commitment is and what Wells Fargo commitment is, and that is to make a difference in the community. And for me personally, I truly believe that not only should I be successful in business, but I should leave every single person that I touch better off. And that, to me, was what that award meant.
And climbing that corporate ladder, you are so successful, especially with Wells Fargo. Tell us how you got to where you are today.
Successful, all right. So now I'm sort of thinking back at my kids. So I need to sort of remind my kids, kids, mom is successful. So when I ask you to wash the dishes, please wash the dishes. All right, so this sort of reminds me, well, you know what, it is a way for me to step back and recognize the importance of hard work, the importance of discipline, the importance of being very, very centered in who you are and what difference you want to make. Ultimately, I started off as an actuary. I was studying actuarial science in school, and yes, it's the math geek. It's the person that you don't really talk about in cocktail parties. But ultimately, what I realized that I could take that analytical approach, make a difference in business, but ultimately touch people's lives, change people's lives, which is ultimately what Wells Fargo is all about.
And you spoke a little bit about your kids. And I mean, I know this event is really talking about women who are juggling it all, the career, the family life, the kids. How do you juggle it all?
Not well all the time. Let me just be clear. And I think one of the things that women really bring to the table is this sense of authenticity. You really don't have to be all things to all people all the time. You don't always have to be good at everything all the time. But I think that is the power of women, that they understand their strengths, they understand their weaknesses. They bring that to the table every single day when they are delivering great business results, but also when they are touching people, they are making a difference in the lives of leaders and women who will be future leaders in their corporations.
That's really amazing advice. And Wells Fargo is a sponsor of this event. What does it mean to Wells Fargo to be a part of this?
So Wells Fargo has been a sponsor for the past 9 years. And Wells Fargo really understands from our own vantage point how important it is to have women leaders in our corporation. Wells Fargo has some amazing leaders. I think about myself heading up half of the state of New Jersey, my counterpart who now has been promoted to another role, heading up the other half of New Jersey, and then the woman who heads up the 5-state territory for Wells Fargo really, again, is a woman. We recognize that women bring a unique perspective to the table, they bring unique skills to the table, and those actually have delivered great financial results for the company, but also have delivered great impact to our communities and to future leaders within the corporation.
And tonight, what is your role tonight since you are a fellow honoree? What will you be doing tonight?
I actually get to speak tonight. I'm actually at the mic. I get an opportunity to give presenting awards, a presenting speech, if you will, as one of the presenting sponsors. And I'm very, very pleased because Wells Fargo is so very proud of our partnership with NJBIZ. I think they do an amazing job really raising the visibility of women in the workforce and the important role that they play today and in the future.
Joining me now is the lovely Tracy McDaniel, who is the president and CEO of Choose New Jersey. Tell us a little bit about Choose New Jersey and what your organization does.
Oh, it's great. Choose New Jersey is a 501c3 nonprofit that works with the Partnership for Action, which is led by our Lieutenant Governor, to generate jobs, to attract companies to our state, and to attract capital investment.
Why did you want to get involved in this type of work?
Oh, I love this work. When you talk about creating jobs for people and what that does for an economy, what that does for families, it's amazing. So it's one of those jobs that becomes a gift that never stops giving when you look at what you can do when you start growing prosperity in communities, in states, and in countries.
Well, you're being honored tonight with this amazing award. What does it mean to you, and what was your initial reaction when you found out about the honor?
Well, to be honest, I was absolutely floored to be honored with a list of such amazing women. But the first thing I had to think about was all the work that my team at Choose New Jersey, they do. They really need to be up here with me receiving this award. And then the work that I've done with the Lieutenant Governor and the Partnership for Action. What Christie developed. Our governor developed this in 2010, the Partnership for Action, and what it's done for economic development in our state is just amazing. We're one of the leading economic development organizations in the country today, and I'm proud of that.
And that all leads to more job opportunities for women to go and succeed. And you've been so successful throughout your career. Who has been an important role model that has been in your life?
Well, I have to say first and foremost was my mother. And then as I grew in my career, it was Barbara Jordan. And then I can go on because there's been so many women and men who've helped me get to where I am today. And I hope to give back those same things to young women and young men who I can help build a career for themselves.
Why do you think an event like this is so important to recognize women throughout our state?
Well, I think it's very important to recognize women and their achievements. I just came back from India, and so many women there were talking about how they could achieve their rights and prominence that we have in the United States. This is just another way to showcase that women in our country are doing amazing things that are in great leadership positions. So if we can continue to tell that story, it can change lives around the world.
Joining me now is Nancy Blattner, the president of Caldwell College. And the CEC knows Caldwell College well. You are an underwriter of ours, which is fantastic. And tonight you're being honored. What does this honor mean to you?
I have to say it's just an amazing honor. I was so surprised when I was nominated for this award because, as you may know, I'm an English professor by my background, and so to be recognized for my business skills in leading Caldwell College is just a tremendous accomplishment, and it means so much to our institution as well because Caldwell is poised on becoming a university later this year, and so I think it signals great things not only for me personally but for the institution as well.
So, you know, this is all about women in business and successful women, but what about the families that back them up the whole time? Tell us a little bit about your family.
Oh, I'd love to talk about my family. I have a very incredible spouse who, when I moved to New Jersey 5 years ago to take the presidency of Caldwell, sold his business of 30 years and moved with me from Missouri to New Jersey and has been my #1 support and fan ever since that time. So he took on all of the things at the house that I simply don't have time for anymore. And we have 3 grown children, so they're not living here with us. They're dispersed throughout the United States. But, you know, there have been many times in my career path when I felt that I had to do things for the institution for which I worked as opposed to doing the things I really wanted to do as a mother. So there's always been a tension. And yet I have to say that the children, our grown children, are very supportive and have never felt, they said to me, that I lacked in supporting them, which is hard for me to believe.
And throughout these years, you've been with Caldwell College for 5 years now here in New Jersey. What is it about New Jersey and women in business here in our state?
Well, I think it's very progressive. That's one thing. And, more so than the Midwest, where I come from in Missouri. And I don't mean to be critical, but I find here that women are much more promoted. They're much more taken seriously in the office, and they're listened to in a different way than I found at home. And that's very exciting to me, to come into an environment where for the first time I feel that there's really a level playing field for women as well as men.
And throughout your career, your expanded career, who has been a role model for you that's really helped to get you to where you are today?
They've all been men, interestingly enough. But I worked for a wonderful president, Dale Nitsky, back at my alma mater, Southeast Missouri State University, and I'll never forget the moment when he called me into his office. I had been elected to the chair of the Faculty Senate, and he said to me, I want to help you develop into a leader because you can be a university president someday. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. But he really gave me a lot of opportunities. He sent me to Harvard to a development program. He assigned me to the provost's office, where I had some incredible opportunities working on the campus, and he just sort of gave me my wings and let me fly. And that's what I want to do for other people, both men and women, so that people who want to be mentored and see that they have opportunities, that I can help them to develop that as well.
Well, congratulations on the award tonight. It's well-deserved, and congratulations, Caldwell College becoming Caldwell University this year. We look forward to it. Thank you so much, Nancy.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
Joining me now is Allison Hoffman with QualCare Inc. And Allison, you're being awarded this amazing award tonight, the Best 50 Women in Business, presented by NJBIZ. What does this award mean to you?
It's really an honor to receive the NJBIZ award. Our CEO, Annette Catino, and our president, Sharon Seitzman, are past recipients of it, so I feel like I'm following in their footsteps. So I'm really quite proud of achieving it tonight.
And we're really talking about amazing women who have done amazing things and juggle so much. You have a really personal story that's connected to overcoming obstacles and getting really to where you are today, such a successful career. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. About 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I've been through 2 years of chemotherapy, 3 surgeries, and I was lucky enough that I continued to follow my dream and continued to progress in my career.
How did you push forward through all of that?
I think I had a lot of support from my CEO and the management team, so they realized that it was really important for me to not change my life and not let my illness define me.
How is the structure of a company and what you talked about, having your CEO and other people really supportive with anything that's going on in your life? How important is that for women to be able to succeed in the business industry?
It really is important. Your executive team becomes your family in a lot of ways. So it's important that we can be honest with each other and trust each other and really support each other too.
Throughout your career, what have been some career goals that you feel like you've hit the nail on the head with them, and what are some that you're still achieving towards?
Boy, that's a good question. I think a big career goal for me was wanting to make my first sale. So when we sold one of our first hospitals, that was a huge career goal. I think it's really another goal is I just really want to support women in mentorship roles and becoming better managers and better leaders and feeling like they can step up and achieve whatever they want.
This event tonight, why is this so important, not just for women in business, but just for our entire community throughout New Jersey?
I think women are not recognized as much as they could be. And I think that this is a great event to support that recognition.
Joining me now is Kathy Bendel, who is a partner with Witham Smith and Brown. Kathy, you're being honored this amazing award tonight. What does it mean to you?
I tell you, it is amazing, and to be one of this group of women from all walks of life, all different industries, it really, really feels special.
Talk a little bit about your career and how you became partner and how you've become so successful.
Well, my career path was a little bit longer to partner because I had twins, and so did the part-time thing. But it came to be, and I worked really hard, and it's another milestone in the career. So it feels really good as well.
I'm marrying an identical twin in 2 months, so I get the whole twin thing. So, juggling it all, having twins and having the family life and working so hard. How do you juggle it all?
It's not easy. I mean, it's really about time management and just really trying to prioritize. And I think any woman in business knows that drill. My children are older now, but back in the day, it was really a struggle. It really was. And it's about having support systems.
What is the one piece of advice that you would give a woman starting out in any industry and really wanting to become successful and get to the executive level?
Well, I think there's a couple things, but I think that my personal philosophy has always been that you give back, and the more you give back, it comes back to you tenfold. So I think it's about, in finding that team, really nurturing your team, and it all will gel at some point. Working hard is clearly one component, but that's the easy thing. Working hard, working a lot of hours, everyone knows how to do that. But I think it's finding that mix, and again, my thing is that giving back. That's always been a key thing for me. Training people, working with people, supporting others.
I'm here with Mary Campbell, who is the Senior Director of Business Development at United Water. Tell us a little bit about your role at United Water.
I'm responsible for the tri-state area, growing the business. It's a wastewater and water industry, and my job is to go out and get new contracts or acquisitions on behalf of United Water.
And you're being honored tonight as one of the best 50 women in business here in New Jersey. What does that mean to you?
It's quite an honor. I mean, to be considered with all the women, that put in applications is just, it's a very prestigious honor. And I was excited, and it gave me a chance to look back in my achievements over the 25 years at United Water, and just, it gives you time to reflect a little bit and what you did, and that it's being recognized is such a privilege.
So 25 years at United Water. Where did you start, and how did you work your way up that corporate ladder to where you are today?
Well, I took pretty much the road less traveled. I went in as an entry-level position, and I went to school 13 of those 25 years for my bachelor's and my law degree. So I was recognized just for the tenacity of finishing school in that capacity while working. And as I went, I kept getting promoted through the ranks and eventually ended up in senior management.
Well, you had a lot to juggle then, and I think a lot of these women that are getting recognized tonight are juggling it all. How did you keep it all straight, and how did you become successful with so many things going on in your life at the same time?
I think while all this turmoil is going on in your life, you try to remain calm. I work out, try to release some nervous energy that way, but also just try to maintain a balance. What's important at that time, and take care of that and check it off your list and go on to the next order of priority.
Joining me now is Jill Rotman, who is the Executive Director of Covenant House, New Jersey, being honored tonight. What does this honor mean to you?
I was so touched to find out that not only that I would be considered for it, but that NJBIZ would honor an executive of a homeless shelter. We do a lot of really hard work, but it's not always recognized as being a corporation that requires leadership and smarts and all that to run. And so I work with a great group of people, and we were all just really excited that our organization was seen in that way.
Working for the homeless shelter, what does it mean to you every day helping this population?
I love it, and I always wanted to do something that gave me a lot of meaning in life and made an impact. But I think what I really come to see through it is that I get out of it so much more than I give to it. If I work there for the rest of my life, I don't think I'll have given as much as I've even received so far from it in lessons learned and learning about the kind of person I want to be and the type of leader I want to be.
In your industry and what you do you think that being a woman has a certain touch to it when you're dealing with this type of population, these type of needs?
I think so. I think, especially when it comes to the homeless young women who we work with and who are there with their young children. I think, being a mom and being a woman, I can, relate just a little bit more to what they're going through, because I knew how difficult it was to have my own children when I have a amazing support system around me. And so it really helps me to, I think, identify a little bit with just how difficult it must be for them, because the only support system they have around them is us. And so it helps us to be more for them by being a group of women who are helping to support them.
And you're a mom, and you're working full time, and you have the career, and you've been successful. How do you juggle it all?
Well, I have a lot of great people around me who really help out with my kids and helping me to balance it all. And we've really created a workplace where, because we're open 24/7, I've been at Covenant House for 15 years and we haven't closed for a moment of that time. And so by doing that, it allows us just a lot of flexibility and covering for each other. And so we really work as a community to help make sure that that everybody who's working there has a work and family balance, because we know that the kids we serve come from families that weren't always able to take care of them, and so we want to make sure that we prioritize our families too.
Joining me now is Linda Zippo, the Executive Director for the Center for Nonprofits here in New Jersey. Linda, you're being recognized tonight for the great work that you've done in our community, especially with nonprofits. What does it mean to you?
This really is such an honor to be recognized along with this extraordinary group of women, and in this first year that nonprofits are being included among this award is really very, very special. Nonprofits are dedicated, and the work that they do in communities every day is absolutely indispensable. So to have that recognition for our small part in helping to create a climate for nonprofits to thrive is really, really an honor.
Talk a little bit about your career. Where did it start and how did you end up where you are today?
I've actually been with the Center for Nonprofits for quite a while, and we found each other through an internship through Rutgers University, and we kept in touch. When a job opened up, they called me, and so I've worn a number of different hats in the organization, and it's really a labor of love. I believe very passionately in the mission of the center to improve the climate for nonprofits throughout the state, and so we've, it's been my pleasure to be involved with the center for these many years.
And how did you climb that ladder to become the executive director?
I actually started as an executive assistant, and again, in a small organization, the beauty of being in a small organization is you can wear a lot of different hats. So I was able to learn about a lot of different positions in the organization. I've been the director of communications and advocacy services, the vice president, and then I moved up to the position that I have now.
What's some advice that you would give women, younger women starting out in any business industry to really be able to become successful, to stand out among the rest?
I think a support network is absolutely critical to create and develop that as quickly as possible. Be vocal, be communicative, don't be afraid to try new things, and find a mentor and take advantage of those kinds of opportunities. Women are a fabulous support network, and that's really what makes it so special. But I think that key of finding that support system and making use of it is really one of the best pieces of advice that I would give.
And you just talked about finding a mentor. Who has been your mentor throughout your career?
I've been really fortunate. I've had several. I mean, my mother, starting with her, but a number of different people in the organization. I'm fortunate to have a wonderful board of trustees that supports the work of the organization. I've had close friends who work in this field and outside of it, so I've been very, very lucky.
Well, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you receive your award tonight.
Thank you so much.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Wells Fargo, Qualcare Inc., Choose New Jersey, New Jersey Sharing Network, Barnabas Health, Celgene Corporation, and by the law firm of Gibbons PC. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.